Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Reach coming to you in just a matter of a couple hours after Dos Anjos was injured and taken out of the fight with Conor McGregor for UFC 196. Dana White on the late night Sports Center stepped up and basically said that he had found a hole to fix UFC 196, keeping Conor McGregor and the fight intact. Basically, Dos Anjos is going to be replaced by Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz has been wanting to fight Conor McGregor for quite some time. You can remember back to the Fox special back in December when Diaz fought against Michael Johnson. After getting the fight via decision, basically he went into full-on promoter mode, basically throwing F-bombs all over the place, saying that this is the fight that the people wanted to see before finally being cut off and said, you're not allowed to talk like that on Fox, we're not on pay-per-view. But basically they ended up going in a different direction, putting Chad Mendes up against Conor McGregor, and Mendes almost pulled out that fight. Honestly, in my opinion, I don't think this is the fight that everybody wants to see. Although I think that if, I was on the street with Nate Diaz, I would be fearing for my life, thinking that I would get my ass kicked. I don't think that the Diaz brothers, I don't understand why they keep on getting these fights basically handed to them. I understand that they, have been around for a while and they're very intimidating, but this guy's record doesn't really back up his sort of legacy in UFC, and it seems that him and his brother just keep getting these fights when UFC gets put into jams. It's almost like they don't want to book these guys. They only book them when they have to. I think that honestly the fight that everybody wants to see is Conor McGregor going up against Cowboy Cerrone, and I understand that basically I think they want to put the championship onto Conor, and then they want to save the Cerrone fight for after that fight, basically making Cerrone versus Conor McGregor as like a big, huge super fight, and you don't want to give that away for when it's not even a championship fight, but I just don't understand. UFC is acting like they've put a huge band-aid on this card, basically putting together the fight that everybody wants to see, but if you go on Twitter yesterday, they were outpouring with tons and tons and tons of people saying that they wanted to see Cerrone against Conor. So they're acting like they've saved this show, but honestly, they just basically put a band-aid over it and hoping that Conor will sell the fight on his own. I know that Nate Diaz is going to bring the talk as well. I just don't know if anybody believes that he can actually be able to bring the fight with him and actually be the guy who's actually going to beat Conor. So UFC 196 is saved. It's right up around the corner. It's going to be Conor McGregor against Nate Diaz. Obviously, I think everyone's going to be taking Conor McGregor in this fight, and we'll see what happens.